Griffin Award for Adaptive Reuse, Kurete Expansion. In March 2017, Heirloom Hospitality Group expanded Kurete Tapas Bar 6 years after first opening. The expansion into the neighboring space at 13 Biltmore Avenue allows for additional table seating, greater kitchen capacity, and the creation of a bustling bar area that flows seamlessly into the dining room. The new bar area, inspired by the vermuterias, or vermouth bars of Spain, offers Spanish vermouth, sherry, and cider on tap, complemented by convivial bites. Colorful illustrations of quintessential Spanish ingredients are painted on a floor-to-ceiling mirror, which reflects Kurete's vintage-inspired lighting and terracotta-colored walls. The expansion unveiled a charcuterie bar, or jamaneria, where a variety of hanging cured hams, displayed in front of a white subway tile-clad wall, are sliced to order. In the open kitchen, the addition of a charcoal-burning Josper oven from Spain, Asheville's first, allowed the team to add a greater selection of classic Spanish dishes to its menu. Throughout the renovation, Heirloom Hospitality Group captured the spirit of historic downtown Asheville while paying homage to contemporary Spanish culture and sought to uphold historic preservation standards. The space, which grew from 92 to 162 seats, features murals and original artwork depicting Spain, a stained oak floor and millwork, and a new mosaic tile floor at the entry that celebrates the building's 1920s history. Griffin Award, Adaptive Reuse, River Arts District Arts and Culture Center. Gifted to the city of Asheville by PSNC Energy, this building once served as the office of the Asheville Power and Light Company's Gas Works facility. Located at 14 Riverside Drive, this building is listed on the National Register of Historic Places as a contributing historic structure in the Riverside Industrial Historic District and sat unused for over 50 years before the city decided to renovate it for public use. As a key structure along the Wilma Dykeman Riverway and in the River Arts District, RAD, it has been transformed into a flexible multi-use space with the intention of adding to the historic character of the RAD. The city is working with arts and culture groups and community members to shape its future programming. The building was originally constructed in 1930. Its concrete floor system was built spanning over Bacote Branch, a small tributary to the French Broad River. The one small existing toilet in the building was straight piped into that creek. The walls are brick with steel windows. The roof comprises metal truss roof framing and metal roofing. Renovations included patching and sealing the original concrete floor, cleaning and repointing interior and exterior brick, re-roofing the building and replacing missing and damaged steel windows with new operable windows to match the original. New accessible public restrooms were installed, and a roll-up door toward the rear was added. Water and sewer lines were brought to the site, which turned out to be a bit daunting given the unknown and quite significant foundations from demolished structures buried well below grade, as well as existing brownfield designated areas on site. The building is now heated and cooled with large ceiling fans, and the building has operable windows. Landscaping includes plantings specific for the river riparian areas. The new parking lot was left primarily gravel to provide permeable surfaces to enhance stormwater management. Griffin Award, Adaptive Reuse, Jargon. Restoring 715 Haywood Road was a labor of love. After working on the Jargon restaurant concept for almost 9 years, Sean Piper used his life savings to purchase 715 Haywood Road, which was neglected to the point of condemnation. It was discovered that the property was listed on the National Register of Historic Places, and Sean reached out to the Historic Preservation Office to research requirements to preserve and restore the building. After being turned down by a multitude of banks over a period of 4 years, Sean found a small bank outside Charlotte that believed in his passion and business plan, and Sean was able to secure a small business association loan for restoration of the property and startup. Sean's team carefully preserved the two freestanding sidewalls and front facade. Sean also managed to remove 11 layers of paint from the facade to showcase the original brick. The interior design reflects a mid-century theme with beautifully repurposed decor. For instance, found objects from the site during excavation, such as cobbler pieces and an old shoe shop sign, are proudly presented in a large assemblage art piece over the open kitchen window. 1952 bowling lane material serves as tabletops and the entire bar top. 1940s Hamilton printer trays have been sanded, stained, and added to the bar facade to show off a wonderful use of contrast and texture. In addition, the same printer trays have been thoughtfully placed with designed architecture to designate the location of the original back wall of the building. Many large vintage mirrors adorn an entire wall, and 1960s Ben chairs from Europe were purchased from an Asheville antique shop and carefully restored. On May 19, 2017, Jargon opened its doors to the public. Griffin Award, Adaptive Reuse, The Bun House. The Bun House is a 1905 two-story brick house in the Chestnut Hill Historic District of downtown Asheville. The residence was built by Albert Bunn, a brick manufacturer and contractor from Birmingham, England, and designed by his wife Kitty. The Bunns used their own bricks made at the Brickyard on Clayton and Charlotte Streets. Albert Bunn made and laid brick for the original Buncombe County Courthouse, St. Lawrence Basilica, and courthouses in Brevard and Waynesville. When for sale, the property was marketed with plans to convert the home into office space and add dense development to the 1.3-acre site. The current owners saw an opportunity to preserve and honor the history of the house and neighborhood by converting it to an elegant and unique bed and breakfast. Red House Architecture, alongside owners Mark Hutchin and Ridgely Dubel, took great care to maintain as much of the original floor plan, exterior facade, and architectural details as possible when creating the new B&B layout. The original house number sign hangs above the entry to the fully restored front porch. As you pass through the original front door, what was once the parlor now greets guests in much the same way, with refreshments of local snacks and beers. The original hardwood floors that were trapped under decades of carpet were beautifully refinished. The central staircase, complete with original dust corners, was completely restored. Outside renovations included cleaning and repointing brick and restoring original shutters and railings. The Bunn House was lovingly rehabilitated with meticulous attention to materials, details, and craftsmanship, while honoring the amazing history of the building, the site, the city, and the family who created this home. Griffin Award, Adaptive Reuse, VA Building No. 9. VA Building No. 9 was completed in 1932, despite the economic difficulties of the time, and acted as nurses' dormitory for white female staff on the then segregated campus. The hospital was the only VA in the American Southeast devoted to caring for patients with a devastating disease, tuberculosis. After decades of service, the building was essentially abandoned in the 1970s, and its eventual dilapidated condition contributed to local rumors that the building was haunted. In 1985, the Otine Veterans Administration Hospital was listed on the National Register of Historic Places, and later, the adjacent African American Nurses Dormitory was rehabilitated for the current offices of the North Carolina Department of Natural and Cultural Resources. But with holes in the roof and nature taking over, Historic Building 9 was slated for demolition to make way for a new oncology treatment center. However, with community support and encouragement, the Veterans Administration made the commitment to save Building No. 9 from being lost forever. Care was taken to remove toxic materials like lead paint and asbestos and update systems while matching original materials whenever possible, including replicas of original windows, new slate roofing materials, and carefully selected paint colors. This work, and much more, went into creating a new chapter for a building that will continue to serve those citizens who serve our country. Building number 9 will be renamed Liberty Hall, acting as a mental health facility for veterans, bringing new life and meaning to an important place. Modernized while still maintaining the historic integrity worthy of the OTEAN Veterans Administration Hospital National Historic District, Historic Building Number 9 is truly a place that matters. Griffin Award, Adaptive Reuse, White Labs Asheville. White Labs Asheville arose when Chris White, owner and founder, saw a need for an East Coast location for his California-based yeast-making facility. The White Labs Asheville project combines selective interior demolition and historic renovation of an existing historic building. Although the site had its challenges, the century-old former tobacco warehouse provided great character with the ability to be reused. As you approach the building, the changes from the outside are minimal. Updates included brick point-up, brick sealer, replacement of broken glazing and gasketing, removal of existing storefront to allow for installation of proper sills, recaulking of all windows, as well as painting of concrete lintels, existing rails, and hollow metal entrances. The reception area and public corridors were minimally designed in keeping with the industrial aesthetic of the original building. More time was spent exposing the good bones of the building versus covering it up with flashy finishes. One notable difference to the facade is the building addition, which houses the kitchen, bar, classroom, and tasting room. The addition has a similar aesthetic to the Phase 1 public side with sealed concrete floors and exposed brick. The look of the tasting room and custom bar mimics an industrial spin on an early turn-of-the-century lab. This project is special because they were able to take a building that was over a century old, that in most cases would have been torn down, and gave it new life instead, as well as providing a growing area with a new business.